PSPers, 'tis I, Mike Martins, your handheld junkie. Let's take a look at the different PSPs that are out there and which one is suitable for you. Okay folks, let's take a look at the 1000 series. I call it the Clunkinator. It's clunky, it's heavy, but it feels like you got something in your hands. And it's the 1000, you would know, it has that mechanical opening here. It's a mechanical opening. Only on the 1000 you could find that. And how do you determine the difference like easily? By picking up a unit and knowing if it's a 1000, 2000, and 3000 series. I'm going to zoom that into the camera. You see the last numbers there? 1001 PSP. So you got PP in the front, and then at the end you have PSP 1001. This is a 1000 series. The 2002, then the 2000, and then the 3003. So that's an identification, a way to identify the difference between the difference in PSPs. And then there's the Psp Go, which looks like this. And I don't have one. And I don't want to have one. Because it doesn't play your UMDs. And I'm a collector and I like to collect things. You know what I'm saying? Now the PSP was the first PlayStation portable unit to be introduced. It launched in Japan in and around December 2004. And it hit the streets. Street date was March 20th-ish in 2005 in North America. I still remember that day. I parked myself outside to buy one. It sold in around 185,000 units in Japan on its first day, believe it or not. And in the United States of America, it sold over 500,000 units in its first 2 days. That's how big this unit was. And this is the type of PSP that featured the 33 megahertz CPU, 32 megabytes of RAM, and stereo sound. It had a 4.3 inch 16:9 widescreen and over 16 million colors. The PSP 1000 also had the ability to play movies, the UMDs, which I collect too, from special discs. The unit also featured the wireless internet, which is so cool, allowing gamers to play online against other PSP owners from all over the world, and this was like the introduction to everything, you know what I'm saying? The first generation PSP console measured about 2.9 inches tall and 6.7 inches long and 0.91 inches thick. At 280 grams, like I said, it weighs something. It's heavier than its direct competitor, the Nintendo DS. So, that's the 1000, guys, for you guys. Remember, a way to identify. Now let's look at the 2000 edition. I got a God of War edition here. Beautiful, beautiful unit. Very light, slim. And let's take a look at what I said in the first one. For the first one, let's get the camera. So, this is a 2000 version. You see right here? There's the serial number, and the last number's right there, 2001. So this is another way to identify if it's a 1, 2, or 3000 version. It was released in September 2007. Sony launched the next generation PSP, the 2000, also called the Psp Slim. It's a lot slimmer, big time. It was one of the notable differences was the thinner profile. It was 1/3 lighter than the previous version and featured a reduced body with sleeker lines and contours. Look at that. But this one does look sexy. It's red, right? Rounded edges and a more industrial design. The positioning of the buttons was meant to mirror the PlayStation 3. And the Psp Slim also featured double the RAM than the previous generation. And it definitely has a brighter screen. I wanted to put that out there. and ability for output to TV, which was really cool, and also put a built-in microphone. It actually has a built-in microphone in this unit. So the weight distribution was its main biggest change. So that's the 2000 for you guys, and you don't have that. See, it's no more mechanical. You have to actually pull the lock, and then and then pull the UMD. It doesn't open automatic when you push it back like that. So that's the 2000. And let's take a look at the most anticipated one of all, the Psp 3000. Slim, sleek, and look at the code at the bottom like I showed you guys for the first two. Should zoom in there. There it is. See that? Psp 3001. That's one way to identify its make and model, by that serial number at the bottom. Now, the Psp 3000 was released in 2008. It was dubbed the Psp Bright. This model retained the same slim factor and button configuration as the previous version, but the model itself was an improvement. Okay? So if you're in the market for a PSP and you're looking and it's 2018, 2019, you want to buy this one. Lots of complaints from the Psp 2000 from gamers, and a lot of them were addressed, which was really good. One of the major improvements was the screen quality. Definitely the screen quality is a lot better. Although the hardware and specs remained the same, the screen was noticeably different. You could actually see a difference in the depth when you look at it in the black screen like that. It was more responsive, which was one problem with the 1000. This is more responsive and faster to the previous versions. The increased contrast made the color seem more richer. Color space control, I guess, if that makes any sense. And the screen itself was less reflective. When it was released, many gaming experts and magazines thought, I still remember these articles too, that the Psp 3000 screen was one of, if not the best screens in handheld gaming market. Built-in Skype. You got Skype on this baby. So you know it's going somewhere with this. So if you're buying it in 2018, you got a Skype built in. Skype is still free from the last I checked. So people could communicate with one another and other gamers using Skype. So the 3000 edition, definitely a better buy in 2018-19. If you're looking to get into the PSP market, it is tough to find one nowadays in North America. Most of the used ones that I'm finding are in Japan, and they're shipping overseas to North America, used. And that's the 3000 edition, guys. Let me know what you guys think.